Hey everybody, I'm back. It's Scott Gold. I have a really awesome coloring book to share with you tonight. This book is called Spooktacular Coloring Adventures, and it's by my friend Ron McAllister. You know Ron from his YouTube channels, Life with Ron and Coloring with Ron. Now this is the second coloring book he has done. And the first coloring book, I also did a review on this channel, and it's called Color Your World. So I'm very excited to share this one with you as well. I'm going to show the back first because I wanted to read to you the description here. It's called Spooktacular Coloring Adventure. Spooktacular Coloring Adventure, brought to you by the charismatic YouTuber Coloring with Ron, is a Halloween-themed coloring book that's all treat and no trick. Dive into pages filled with a melody of classic and quirky Halloween scenes where every stroke of color brings you closer to the festive spirit of this eerie season. With a variety of illustrations ranging from smiling pumpkins and mischievous ghosts to whimsical witches and moonlit graveyards, Ron's creativity ensures a fun and accessible experience for colorists of all ages. This book is perfect for anyone looking to indulge in the playful side of Halloween while showcasing their coloring prowess. Whether you're a longtime fan of Coloring with Ron or a newcomer to the world of coloring, Spooktacular Coloring Adventures promises to provide hours of engaging entertainment, leaving you with a collection of your very own Halloween art. So ready your favorite colors and join Ron in this celebration of Halloween creativity and fun. Book includes 2 of each illustration. Very nice. Now this is a full-size coloring book. I'm going to show you the measurements here. It is 8.5 by 11. And let's take a look and do a flip through. Spooktacular Coloring Adventure. This is the same inscription as was on the back. A place for you to write "This book belongs to." And here we get into the first coloring page. Now, this is a page with a group of trick-or-treaters dressed for the occasion in some costumes. They have their trick-or-treat pails. The yard has a multitude of jack-o'-lanterns. We have the neighborhood in the background with some bats and cobwebs, some trees, and the classic all-American trick-or-treating scene with the front porches ready to accept trick-or-treaters. The next page is of a classic jack-o'-lantern. And here you have, it looks like a werewolf howling at the moon in the woods. What I like is that each one of these pages has a detailed picture first and then a more singular character, a little bit of a simpler page. And that's really nice because sometimes you're not necessarily looking to sit down and spend, a whole lot of time coloring. Maybe you're looking to color a page and then just do another one quickly. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Sometimes coloring books are overly simple. Sometimes they're overly complicated. Rarely do you find sort of that sweet spot of having both kinds of images in this book. So we have a really cute witch here. A dark Halloween night with a Victorian home in the background. It looks like some open farm fields. Bats with a huge full moon. We have a scarecrow and some jack-o'-lanterns. This reminds me of an Ohio scene with the wide open land, the rolling hills. Who knows? It's wherever you want it to be. And that's the beauty of coloring. Here we have a Frankenstein figure looking pretty creepy. And here is a house with some jack-o'-lanterns, a walkway. We have our bats and our sliver of moon in the night sky. Here's a very adorable looking vampire. I like these fangs. Here we have a scarecrow with a yard that looks to be like a pumpkin patch out front. And this is either a house or a church, perhaps. It looks like there's some crosses in the side, so it may be a graveyard behind there. Bats and a crescent moon. We have another one like this. And this is the picture from the front cover, which I love that that's included in this book for you to color as well. So you have the Life with Ron inspired character here. Out on the front lawn of this, looks like an English style home decorated for the occasion with jack-o'-lanterns, ghosts, cat. Very cute. Lots of bats. A lot of detail in this one. And here we have this creepy looking dude with a full set of teeth just hanging out of his mouth like they are here. I always love a picture that shows some teeth because it gives me an opportunity to make it a gold tooth. This is a nice picture. We have a crowded front yard here with all sorts of decorations. It reminds me of my neighborhood when people go all out decorating. We have lots of pumpkins and vines. There's some headstones, a long pathway leading up to the front door, bats and a full moon, the quintessential creepy fall tree. Now, one of the things that Life with Ron, myself, and Miss Southern Belle are going to be doing on our channels, our YouTube channels, is we're going to do instead of a Christmas in July, we're going to do Halloween in July. So this book is actually going to be very perfect for us to be able to celebrate a little Halloween in the height of summertime. It's just something different, something fun to do. Here we have a witch's broom, a jack-o'-lantern with a witch's hat on, some ghosts and goblins, and some bats and spider webs. This one has the scarecrow. This reminds me of what was one of my favorite children's books growing up, called The Night the Scarecrow Walked. And this image kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Very creepy. Looks like this might be a afternoon before Halloween night, with the rolling hills in the background, all of the jack-o'-lanterns. Here's this dude here. And a different nighttime scene. It looks like that the jack-o'-lanterns are all poised and in full display, and we have the scarecrow who looks like he could come to life at any moment, along with a multitude of bats and a giant full moon. We've got our ghost wearing the witch's hat this time, some jack-o'-lanterns. Very cute. And here we have a different scarecrow with an extra long neck, it looks like. It looks like we're at a farm in this particular scene because you can tell all of the crops or wheat or whatever that is growing. The farmhouse behind with a pumpkin patch, many of which are carved into jack-o'-lanterns. Here we have a witch riding on a broom, and she looks pretty adorable, actually. That's not a witch that I would be terribly scared of. She looks pretty cute with those big eyes. And this is a nice page because you have a lot to look at and a lot to color. It kind of gives me that sort of paisley or almost mandala effect a little bit, because in the space around the house, you have all of this detail that looks like sort of like filigree detail. And the house looks to be sort of surrounded by a giant full moon with bats, and you have a ghost here. A lot to look at, a lot to color. And here's a very adorable looking vampire, all dressed up in his very dashing cape and vest. He's got his fangs, and he's ready for an evening out, it appears. We have a very devilish looking character here in the lower right with some pumpkins, a full moon with bats flying past. So that concludes the first part of the book, and the second part says, second set of pages begins here. So here you have a duplication of everything that we've looked at so far, and that's common in coloring books, and actually a very nice feature, because sometimes you color a picture and you say, oh, I wish I would have done something different or changed something, or you just really liked that particular image and wanted to color it again. Or if you're buying this for, say if you have a couple of children, one child could color the first set and the other could color the second. So it is whatever you want to make it. And I'm going to show you the back here. I'm going to read to you what this says. It says, a heartfelt thank you to everyone who has brought Spooktacular Coloring Adventures to life with their colors and creativity. For more coloring fun and tips, don't forget to check out the Coloring with Ron YouTube page, where the adventure continues. The link and QR code below will whisk you away to a world of color and creativity. So if you scan this QR code, that's going to bring you to Ron's YouTube channel, Coloring with Ron. So I would invite you to check that out. And it goes on to say, also be sure to explore Ron's other books available on Amazon. Each page is a new opportunity to let your imagination soar. So the first book that he came out with was his coloring book called Color Your World, featuring Life with Ron and Chi-Chi. I have that right here, and I have done a full video on this coloring book, so you can see what all of those pages look like, and you can pick that up on Amazon. And you also have Chi-Chi's Island Adventure. And this is Chi-Chi's Island Adventure. I've also done a full reading of this children's book, available on this channel as well. I will link all of that in the description so that you can check these items out on YouTube, and you can check out Coloring with Ron and Life with Ron YouTube channels. Well, I thank you so very much for joining me tonight for this flip through. I think this is a really cool coloring book. I'm super excited to get into some of these pages and color, and it's going to put me in the Halloween spirit when we get closer to Halloween. But before then, when we do our Halloween in July, we're going to have a lot of fun coloring from this coloring book. And of course, if you check out my channel, I'm sure you're going to see some lives where I'll be coloring out of this book and this one as well, along with others. So thank you so very much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's not too late. If you have, welcome to the family. I love you for watching.